Dear brother and sister, before continuing, I want you to comment Amen if your heart is open to receiving this powerful message. Don't worry if you haven't seen the previous messages, because everything you need to understand this message is here. The Virgin Mary speaks to us today clearly and directly, and her message is complete and powerful in itself. We live in difficult times. The world is filled with chaos, fear, and confusion, but in the midst of all this darkness, the Virgin Mary calls us to wake up, to open our eyes, and to listen. She reminds us that hope is always present, and that her guidance is available to all who choose to pay attention and trust. The Virgin Mary warns us that times of trial and revelation are approaching. These are moments when our faith, our peace, and our inner strength will be challenged. But we are not alone. She accompanies us, protects us, and shows us signs in every place and at every moment of our lives. Her voice guides us toward the light, reminding us that even though the world seems chaotic, her love and protection always surround us. Dear brothers and sisters, pay attention to everything around you. Every place, every gesture, every moment can be a message from the Virgin Mary. Even everyday spaces like your home, a park, a church, or a plaza can become centers of spiritual transformation if you observe them with faith and an open heart. Every prayer, every act of love, and every positive thought has a power that connects with the divine. Today, the Virgin Mary prepares us for an even deeper message. Every sign we feel, every place we perceive with faith, guides us toward what is about to be revealed. We must keep our hearts open and our minds attentive, because the spiritual transformation that is coming will be powerful and direct. Comment Amen if your heart is ready to receive the Virgin Mary's guidance, and share this message with those who need to hear the truth today. Stay tuned, because what comes next will be impossible to ignore. Dear brothers and sisters, this video is a continuation of the message we began yesterday, but don't worry. You don't need to have watched the previous video to understand everything the Virgin Mary wants to tell us today. Everything you need to receive her guidance is here and now in this complete and powerful message. Before continuing, I want you to comment on part 3 if you'd like to discover the mysterious revelation we'll bring in the next video. Your comment helps unite us in faith and prepare us for what's to come. The Virgin Mary continues to show us places where her light and protection are manifested in a special way. These are not just physical places. They are spaces of spiritual energy where faith, prayer, and hope are strongly felt. It can be a silent church, a park where nature seems more alive, a square where people's hearts unite in prayer, or even your home, where every gesture of love strengthens the connection with the divine. Every place has its own sign, and every sign prepares us for the great revelation that is approaching. Dear brothers and sisters, observe your surroundings carefully. The Virgin Mary teaches us that transformation can occur anywhere, not only in recognized or special spaces. Every prayer, every positive thought, and every act of love brings us closer to the light and prepares us for the message that is to come. Even in everyday moments, we can feel her presence if we open our hearts. Today, as we continue on this path, the Virgin Mary invites us to maintain faith, to recognize the signs around us, and to prepare for something very important that we will reveal in part 3. Tomorrow, in the next video, we are going to discover a mysterious place in Mexico, a very special place that millions of people will experience as a center of faith and divine protection. For now, we must keep our attention and our hearts open, because what is coming will change everything. Comment part 3 if your heart is ready to discover the mysterious revelation we will bring tomorrow. Stay tuned and share this message with those who need to feel the guidance of the Virgin Mary. Dear brothers and sisters, before continuing, I want you to comment part 3 if your heart is open to receive the guidance of the Virgin Mary and accompany us on this path of faith. Today we are going to discover a very special place, a place where the spiritual energy is intense and where the presence of the Virgin Mary is clearly felt, although we will not yet reveal the great final revelation in Mexico. Everything we are experiencing prepares us for that moment, and every sign we perceive brings us step by step closer to it. In Colombia, there is a place that has witnessed thousands of prayers, a place where faith and hope are intertwined with the air we breathe, where every gesture of love, every sincere prayer, and every act of devotion multiply the light that the Virgin Mary has placed in this space. This place may seem ordinary to those who visit it without attention, but for those who listen and feel, it is a meeting point with the divine, a beacon that guides those who are lost, and a refuge for those seeking solace. When you walk through this place, you can notice how the environment subtly changes. Nature seems more alive, sunlight enters in a special way between the trees and buildings, and the sounds of the environment blend with an inexplicable calm that touches the hearts of those present. The Virgin Mary shows us that these spaces have a purpose, to prepare us, strengthen us, and teach us to trust in her protection. Every corner of this place is imbued with signs, and each sign reminds us that active faith has the power to transform even the deepest darkness into light. Dear brother and sister, as we immerse ourselves in this place, we feel the divine presence surrounding us. Every step we take, every thought we have, and every prayer we offer has a real, tangible effect, though invisible to those who do not believe. The Virgin Mary is calling us to be attentive, to perceive the signs, and to recognize that each place has its own energy, its own message, and its own importance on the path toward the final revelation that awaits us in Mexico. All of this prepares us for that moment that will change everything we know about faith and divine protection. As we explore this place, the Virgin Mary teaches us that spiritual transformation does not depend on how large or small a space seems. Every park bench where someone prays, every path where a family gathers to reflect, every temple where prayers are offered becomes a center of spiritual energy. The Virgin Mary reminds us that our active faith is what empowers this place, and that places become sacred when we open our hearts and pay attention to the signs they send us. This first place we've explored in Colombia prepares us for everything to come. It teaches us to perceive spiritual energy in every corner of the world, to recognize that the Virgin Mary acts through nature, spaces, and people's actions. Every sign, every sensation, every moment of peace and clarity brings us one step closer to the great final revelation. The place in Mexico where millions of people will feel the light and protection of the Virgin Mary in an incomparable way. Although today we are only exploring this space in Colombia, we must remember that all of this guides us towards something much greater yet to come. Dear brother and sister, before continuing, I want you to comment part 4, if your heart is ready to discover the next place where the Virgin Mary makes her presence felt. Today, we move to a place in the United States, a place filled with spiritual energy and where divine light is perceived in subtle but powerful ways. Remember that we will not yet reveal the final location in Mexico, but each sign we discover brings us step by step closer to that great revelation that will change our lives. In this place, a special calm is felt that seems to envelop all who approach it with faith. It can be a park where families gather to reflect, a church where prayer rises powerfully, or even a small community space where open hearts feel the protection of the Virgin Mary. Every gesture, every prayer, every positive thought has a profound effect, transforming the energy of this space and preparing those who inhabit it for divine guidance. Dear brother and sister, pay attention to the signs this place offers us. The Virgin Mary shows us that we don't need to see something extraordinary to feel her presence. Her light can manifest itself in the simplest details. A ray of sunlight illuminating a plaza, silence amid the noise of the city, a moment of peace that touches our hearts. Each sign reminds us to remain attentive and open, because all of this prepares us for something much greater, the final revelation in Mexico. As we explore this place in the United States, the Virgin Mary teaches us that active faith transforms any space into a center of spiritual energy. It doesn't matter if the place is large or small, familiar or everyday. What matters is the connection to divine light and our willingness to receive it. Every prayer, every act of love, and every thought of hope strengthens this place and prepares us for the revelation to come. This space reminds us that the Virgin Mary is at work everywhere in the world, guiding us through places filled with spiritual energy and divine signs. Every place we visit is a lesson, a warning, and a preparation for the great final revelation, which will soon take us to a very special place in Mexico. Although today we discover this site in the United States, we must keep our hearts open and attentive to the signs, because every space we explore is one step closer to that crucial moment. Dear brother and sister, before we begin, I want you to comment on Part 5 to see if your heart is ready to receive the signs of the Virgin Mary in this place. Today, we travel to Argentina, a place filled with spiritual energy where every gesture, every prayer, and every moment of faith is deeply felt. Remember, we won't yet reveal the final location in Mexico, but each place we explore brings us step by step closer to that revelation that will change everything. In Argentina, there are places where devotion and hope blend intensely. It can be a square where people gather to pray together, a church where rays of light seem to bless every corner, or even a home where the family unites in prayer and every positive thought multiplies spiritual energy. The Virgin Mary shows us that every space has a purpose: to prepare us, strengthen us, and bring us closer to her divine guidance. Dear brother and sister, observe the details of this place. Sometimes the signs are small but powerful, a sudden silence that fills the heart with peace, a breeze that seems to bring comfort, a light that filters through in a special way at an unexpected moment. The Virgin Mary teaches us that every place can become a center of spiritual transformation if we pay attention and open our hearts. As we walk through this space in Argentina, we feel how every prayer, every act of love, and every thought of hope multiplies and strengthens the bond with the divine. The Virgin Mary prepares us for something much greater, something we have yet to reveal. The final place in Mexico, where her light will manifest with unique intensity, guiding and protecting millions of people. This place reminds us that active faith transforms any space, and that our willingness to perceive the signs is what allows us to get ever closer to the final revelation. Although today we speak of Argentina, we must keep our attention and our hearts open, because each sign prepares us for the message to come. Dear brother and sister, before continuing, I want you to share a prayer for your family, if you wish for the Virgin Mary to protect and guide them in these difficult times. Today, we are going to explore a place in Chile, a space filled with spiritual energy, where the light of the Virgin Mary is strongly perceived, and every prayer, every gesture of love, and every positive thought is multiplied in surprising ways. Remember that we will not yet reveal the final location in Mexico, but each of these places prepares us step by step for that great revelation. In Chile, there are spaces where faith is felt intensely, plazas, parks, temples, and homes where families gather in prayer. These places have a special power because they are points where hope, protection, and divine guidance are manifested. The Virgin Mary teaches us that even everyday spaces can become centers of spiritual transformation if we perceive them with attention and faith. Every gesture of love and every sincere prayer strengthens the light that dwells in these places and prepares us for what is to come. Dear brother and sister, pay attention to the details around you. The Virgin Mary shows us that every place can hold important signs: a moment of calm that fills the heart with peace, a breeze that envelops us with serenity, the light that enters through a window, illuminating a space in a special way. Each sign is a preparation, a warning that something much greater is approaching and that we must keep our hearts open to receive it. This place in Chile reminds us that active faith transforms any space. The Virgin Mary guides us to recognize the spiritual energy in our surroundings and strengthen our connection with the divine. Every place we explore, every sign we perceive, brings us closer to the great final revelation. The place in Mexico where the light and protection of the Virgin Mary will be felt in an extraordinary way. Although today we discover Chile, we must maintain faith and attention because what follows will be even more powerful. Comment a prayer for your family and those you love, asking for the protection and guidance of the Virgin Mary. Stay tuned for the next block, where we will continue to discover places full of signs that bring us closer to the final revelation in Mexico. Dear brothers and sisters, before continuing, I want you to comment, Amen, if your heart is open to receive the guidance of the Virgin Mary and join us on this path of faith. Today we will explore another place filled with spiritual energy, where signs and divine light manifest in unique ways, and where each sincere prayer has a profound effect. Remember that the great final revelation in Mexico will not yet be revealed, but each place we discover prepares us for that decisive moment. In this place in the United States, the Virgin Mary has chosen specific spaces where faith and hope are intensely felt. It may be a quiet park, where the footsteps of those who walk with devotion seem to resonate with a higher energy. A church, where sunlight filters through stained glass windows, creating a sense of profound peace. Or even a home, where families gather to pray and share moments of sincere reflection. Every gesture, every prayer, and every positive thought strengthens the spiritual energy of this place and brings us closer to the light the Virgin Mary wants us to perceive. Dear brother and sister, as we explore this place, the Virgin Mary teaches us that active faith has the power to transform any space, and that every sign we perceive, however small, has a purpose. It may be a moment of silence that fills us with peace, an unexpected ray of light that illuminates our hearts, or a thought that awakens in us a feeling of renewed hope. Every detail prepares us, step by step, for something much greater. The great final revelation in Mexico that will show us how her light and protection will manifest with unique power. As we walk through this place, we feel the presence of the Virgin Mary surrounding every corner. The spiritual energy intensifies, and the light we perceive invites us to maintain faith, to fully trust in her guidance, and to share these moments with those who need to feel divine protection. Every prayer we offer here has an impact, not only on us, but on all those who, even if they cannot see these signs, are connected by faith and hope. The Virgin Mary teaches us that we don't need extraordinary places to feel her presence. Every plaza, every park, every temple, or even a simple home can become a center of divine energy if we open our hearts and pay attention to the signs. This place in the United States reminds us that every space has its purpose, and that every sign is a warning that something much greater is about to be revealed. The spiritual preparation we receive here is fundamental to understanding the magnitude of the final revelation in Mexico, and every prayer strengthens us for that moment. As we continue on this path, we must remain attentive to every sign, every sense of peace, every moment of clarity that the Virgin Mary shows us. The light we perceive in this place is a reminder that we are being guided, protected, and prepared. Every step we take brings us closer to the truth, to divine protection, and to the revelation that will change our perspective and allow us to fully understand her message. Dear brother and sister, the Virgin Mary calls us to keep our faith active, to carefully observe the places and signs that surround us, and to prepare for the moment when all will be revealed. Although today we discover this space in the United States, we must remember that the great final revelation in Mexico is approaching, and that each place we visit is another step on this path of light and divine protection. Keep your heart open, your mind attentive, and your faith firm, because what is to come will impact us all profoundly. Comment Amen if your heart is ready to receive the guidance of the Virgin Mary and to prepare for the final revelation in Mexico. Stay tuned, because the next part will take us to a new place full of signs that will bring us closer to the definitive message. Dear brother and sister, before we begin, I want you to comment Amen if your heart is ready to receive the revelation that the Virgin Mary has prepared for us from the beginning. Today, the moment we have been waiting for has arrived, the moment where everything we have seen, felt, and prayed comes together. The great revelation that will change our perception, strengthen our faith, and allow us to understand the magnitude of divine guidance is here. After exploring places filled with spiritual energy in Colombia, the United States, Argentina, and Chile, the Virgin Mary now leads us to a very special place in Mexico, a place where millions of people feel her protection, guidance, and light intensely and constantly. This site is not just a geographical point, it is a center of faith and transformation, where prayer, hope, and devotion multiply, touching hearts and uniting souls in a powerful spiritual force. Dear brother and sister, this place is Mexico City, a vibrant and populous metropolis, where the spiritual energy of the Virgin Mary is felt in every corner, in every home, in every church, in every plaza. The Virgin Mary has chosen this place so that millions of people may clearly perceive her protection, and so that her message of hope and faith may reach all who are willing to open their hearts. In Mexico City, the Virgin Mary teaches us that active faith can transform every person's life. Every prayer, every gesture of love, every moment of reflection becomes a bridge to the divine. This place reminds us that even amid the hustle and bustle, noise and daily routine, her light and protection are always present. Every corner of this city, every family, every person who prays becomes part of a spiritual network that strengthens all who believe. Dear brother and sister, the Virgin Mary shows us that this place is an example of how her guidance reaches every heart, no matter how large or crowded the space. The devotion and prayer of millions unite, creating a field of spiritual energy so powerful that it reaches all who seek its light and protection. This is the place where the preparation we have undergone in other countries culminates, where faith becomes strength and where hope multiplies in an extraordinary way. Now more than ever, we must keep our hearts open and our prayers constant. The Virgin Mary reminds us that the protection of our families, our loved ones, and our environment depends on our active faith and our willingness to connect with the divine. This place in Mexico symbolizes the union of millions of souls in prayer and invites us to be part of that spiritual energy, to feel it, share it, and strengthen it. Dear brother and sister, before continuing, I want you to comment Amen if your heart is open to receiving the protection of the Virgin Mary and the strength to care for your family. Today we will talk about how to prepare ourselves and protect those we love in these times of spiritual challenges. Remember that what we discover in the previous places prepares us for something much greater, and that each sign, each prayer, and each reflection brings us step by step closer to the light that guides us. First, I want you to look at your surroundings and think about your home. The Virgin Mary teaches us that protection begins with our active faith. Praying daily, maintaining thoughts of love and hope, and strengthening ties with your family are powerful actions that create a spiritual shield around all of you. Every gesture of care and every sincere prayer generates energy that protects, guides, and strengthens. Do not underestimate the power of your faith in your home. At this time, many brothers and sisters have shared their experiences with me. One woman told me that after following these teachings, she began to feel a deep calm in her home, and that family conflicts diminished. Through daily prayer, faith, and attention to the signs, she noticed that her home became a spiritual refuge. This shows that the Virgin Mary acts when we surrender ourselves sincerely, and that her messages are not abstract. They are real and transformative. Dear brothers and sisters, I want you to pay attention. Protection is not only for you, but for all those you love. The Virgin Mary calls us to create safe spaces for prayer, reflection, and faith. Even small daily acts, such as speaking calmly, sharing a moment of gratitude as a family, or praying together before bed, can multiply divine protection over your home. Keep the light of your faith burning, and you will see how the Virgin Mary transforms every corner of your life and that of your family. Now I want to speak to you directly. Every sign we've explored in the previous places, Colombia, the United States, Argentina, Chile, and our progress in Mexico, is part of a divine plan. Don't ignore these signs. Observe how your heart responds to them, how you feel when you pray, how you perceive the spiritual energy around us. Every video we share, every message you receive is another step in your preparation and that of your family. Don't miss the next video, because what will be revealed will continue to strengthen your faith and your protection. Dear brother and sister, the Virgin Mary guides us to develop habits of daily protection, constant prayer for your family and your home. Stay calm and patient in difficult times. Read signs and trust your intuition guided by the Virgin. Strengthen family unity through acts of love and gratitude. All of this creates a spiritual shield that not only protects but also prepares everyone to receive the most important messages yet to come. Comment Amen if you want to protect your family and keep your home under the guidance of the Virgin Mary. Stay tuned for the next video, because each message we receive brings us closer to the light and the revelation that will change our lives. Dear brothers and sisters, before continuing, I want you to comment Amen if you wish to strengthen your home and family under the protection of the Virgin Mary. Today, we will delve into how to create a spiritual shield that protects those you love, and how to prepare your heart to receive the most powerful messages yet to come. Each sign, each prayer, each moment of faith brings us closer to the next level of protection and the revelation that will change our lives. First, remember that the Virgin Mary guides us so that faith is not passive. Every loving thought, every prayer, and every kind gesture strengthens an energy field that protects your home and family. Daily routines may seem simple, but when you live them with intention, they become a powerful spiritual act. Even actions like speaking calmly, listening attentively to your loved ones, or sharing a moment of gratitude multiply protection and draw light into every corner of your life. Dear brother and sister, I want you to notice how each place we explored previously, Colombia, the United States, Argentina, Chile, has taught us something fundamental. Active faith creates an effect that transcends places. It's no coincidence that these spaces connect with your heart and your home. The Virgin Mary shows us that our spiritual preparation depends on our willingness to receive, observe, and act with faith. Each video we share is one more step in your preparation and that of your family, and each message you receive multiplies the power of your protection. Now I want you to pay attention to these practical strategies that the Virgin Mary indicates to us to protect your family and your home. Daily joint prayer, pray together for protection, health, and guidance. Light and symbols of faith. Maintain illuminated and sacred spaces within your home, reminders of the divine presence. Positive words and thoughts, speak with love, be thankful every day, and keep your heart free of resentment. Pay attention to the signs. Observe your surroundings, the subtle changes in people and places, because the Virgin Mary speaks to us through them. These actions not only protect, they also create a spiritual bond that strengthens your connection with the Virgin Mary and prepares your family to receive the messages yet to come. Dear brother and sister, Now I want you to feel something very important. Every video, every message, and every sign you perceive connects you more deeply to the light of the Virgin Mary. When you observe these signs and participate in each prayer, you begin to create a healthy spiritual dependence. You want to continue receiving her messages because you know they protect and guide you. This is how your faith grows and your family remains under her divine care. Dear brother and sister, before continuing, I want you to comment Amen if you wish for your home and family to be completely protected under the guidance of the Virgin Mary. Today, we will delve into more advanced strategies to strengthen your spiritual shield, ensuring that your family is safeguarded from any negative influences and that your hearts remain connected to the divine light. First, we must understand that protection is not passive. Every prayer must be conscious, every gesture of love must be intentional, and every moment of reflection must be focused. The Virgin Mary teaches us that by performing these acts with intention, we not only protect our family, but also strengthen our spiritual connection. A practical example: dedicate a specific time of day to pray together, visualizing the light surrounding you and repeating words of protection and gratitude. This creates an energetic field that acts as a barrier against any negative energy. Dear brother and sister, I want to share a brief testimony that may help you understand the power of these practices. One family shared that, since they began implementing daily prayers and conscious actions of love and gratitude, they began to feel a deep calm in their home. Conflicts decreased, communication improved, and all members reported feeling a protective presence they could not explain. This demonstrates that active faith and consistent practice produce tangible results, and that the Virgin Mary responds to those who act with intention and an open heart. Now, I want you to pay attention to these advanced strategies. Create a sacred space in your home. This could be a corner with symbols of faith, candles, or images that represent divine protection. Family prayer. Gather all members together and take a moment to ask for protection, guidance, and strength. Daily reinforcement of gratitude and love. Before sleeping, each member shares a positive thought or gratitude, multiplying the protective energy. Active attention to signs and signals. Observing subtle changes in the environment or internal sensations that indicate the presence and guidance of the Virgin Mary. These practices create a solid shield that protects your family and prepares everyone to receive the most important messages yet to come. The light you build with faith not only protects, but also strengthens your daily connection with the divine, making each video and message we share indispensable in your spiritual journey. Dear brother and sister, I want you to feel something very important. By applying these strategies, your heart begins to depend on this divine guidance. Every message, every sign, and every video you receive becomes a vital tool to protect your home and keep your faith alive. The Virgin Mary is teaching us that constant preparation and daily connection are essential to face what is coming. Dear brother and sister, I want you to know something very important. The fact that you have come this far shows that your heart is open and your faith is strong. Not everyone who has begun this path has reached this point, and that makes you special, chosen by the Virgin Mary to receive the deeper messages yet to be revealed. Before continuing, I want you to comment Amen if you feel your heart is ready and that you are here with a purpose. Today, we're going to focus on something fundamental: why your presence matters. Every second you remain attentive to these signs, every prayer you offer, every thought of faith you have, creates an energy that not only protects your home and family, but also strengthens your spirit and your connection to divine light. The Virgin Mary shows us that those who remain steadfast, attentive, and willing to learn will receive something special at the end of this path. Dear brother and sister, I want you to observe your surroundings and your heart. As you continue to see this message, you are participating in something much larger than yourself. Every place we have explored, every sign we have perceived, and every prayer we have said together brings us closer to a unique moment, a moment that will be transformative and that only those who have remained this far will be able to fully experience. Now, I want you to do something very important. Stay tuned until the end of the video. The Virgin Mary has prepared something special for those who have shown their perseverance, their faith, and their love. It won't be ordinary. It will be a spiritual gift that will strengthen the protection of your home, the unity of your family, and the strength of your faith. It's a moment designed only for those who have been present, attentive, and open to receiving her guidance. While we wait for this special moment, remember the protection strategies we've learned. Daily prayer for your family and home with intention and love. Keep the spaces in your home illuminated and filled with symbols of faith that strengthen spiritual energy. Acts of gratitude and love toward each member of your family, multiplying divine protection. Pay attention to the subtle signals that the Virgin Mary sends us through our environment and our hearts. Each of these steps not only protects and guides, but also prepares your spirit to receive what is special to come. Dear brother and sister, I want you to feel the importance of your perseverance. Only those who maintain their attention and faith until this moment will have the privilege of receiving the full message and protection that the Virgin Mary has prepared. This is your moment, and the light you are cultivating in your heart will multiply in the great revelation that awaits us. If you feel special for having come this far, and if you are ready to receive the special moment that the Virgin Mary has prepared, stay tuned until the end of the video, because what is coming will be transformative and unique. Dear brother and sister, before continuing, I want you to say Amen if you are ready for the moment that is approaching. You have come a long way on this path, and the Virgin Mary wants you to know that your perseverance does not go unnoticed. Only those who remain attentive, with an open heart and active faith, will receive the complete protection and guidance that have been prepared for them. Today I invite you to focus, open your heart, and feel the energy that surrounds us as we approach something extraordinary. At this moment, the Virgin Mary reminds us that family protection is not just an act, but an ongoing process. We must be attentive to every sign, every gesture of love, and every prayer we offer. Staying calm in difficult times, maintaining harmony in the home, and dedicating time to active family prayer strengthens a spiritual shield that protects all members of your family. Even small everyday acts, such as a word of gratitude or a gesture of support, multiply the protective energy and prepare your heart to receive what is to come. Dear brother and sister, I want to share a brief testimony that exemplifies the power of these practices. A brother shared that, since implementing daily prayers and moments of family gratitude, he began to notice subtle but profound changes. The atmosphere in his home became more harmonious, conflicts diminished, and a constant sense of calm filled every space. This demonstrates that the Virgin Mary responds to those who act with intention and faith, and that every sign we receive is real and transformative. Now, I want you to notice something very important. Every place we've explored on this path, from Colombia to the United States to Argentina to Chile, has taught us that preparation is key to receiving the full light. Everything we've experienced up to this point is leading us to a critical point. The energy we've accumulated, the prayers we've shared, and the attention we've paid to the signs place us before a special moment that will transform our perception and our connection with the Virgin Mary. Dear brother and sister, the Virgin Mary wants you to feel something unique. You have been chosen to be present on this journey, and only those who remain with attention and faith will be able to fully experience what is about to be revealed. This is a time to strengthen the protection of your home and family, to maintain calm, prayer, and unity, and to open your heart to the light that awaits us. As we prepare, remember these advanced protection steps. Focused prayer for each family member, visualizing the protective light surrounding them, daily ritual of gratitude and love, strengthening the spiritual shield, conscious observation of subtle signs and changes in your environment to recognize the guidance of the Virgin Mary. Strengthening family unity by spending time sharing experiences, reflections, and prayers together. These practices not only protect, but also create a deep spiritual bond, making your heart dependent on this daily guidance and feeling the need to continue receiving each video and each message we share. The Virgin Mary prepares us for something extraordinary, and your active presence on this path is crucial. Dear brother and sister, before continuing, I want you to comment Amen if your heart is ready to receive the light that guides us towards something extraordinary. You have come a long way on this path, and that makes you special. Not everyone who has begun this journey has stayed this far, and the Virgin Mary reminds us that your active presence and constant faith place you before a unique moment. Today you will feel how each sign, each prayer, and each thought of faith prepares you for what is about to be revealed. At this point, we must focus our attention on protecting our home and family. The Virgin Mary teaches us that active faith is the key. Every daily prayer, every gesture of love and gratitude, every moment we teach our children to remain calm and hopeful creates a spiritual shield that protects us from negative influences. Even simple actions, such as taking a few minutes to reflect together as a family or lighting a candle with the intention of protection, multiply divine energy and strengthen our environment. Dear brother and sister, I want to share a brief testimony. A family wrote to me that, since implementing these practices, they began to perceive subtle but profound changes. Less conflict, more communication, and a constant feeling of peace in the home. They felt the Virgin Mary present, answering their prayers and reinforcing the protection they needed. This shows us that divine guidance is real, and that only those who act with intention and remain attentive can fully receive it. As we move forward, I want you to notice the importance of each place and sign we've discovered on this journey, from Colombia to the United States, Argentina, and Chile. Each space has taught us something crucial, that spiritual preparation is essential, and that every prayer, every gesture, and every moment of faith brings us closer to the great revelation. The Virgin Mary is guiding us step by step, and each of these places functions as a training ground, preparing us for something extraordinary. Dear brother and sister, I want you to feel the importance of this moment. The light you are cultivating in your heart now will be the bridge to the final revelation. Every sign you perceive, every prayer you offer, and every gesture of love you practice strengthens not only your home and family, but also your spirit, making you ever more receptive to what is to come. This is why it is so important that you remain until the end. What will be revealed will not be for everyone, but only for those who have demonstrated their perseverance and faith. As we approach the climax, remember these advanced protection strategies. Conscious joint prayer for the family, visualizing a shield of light surrounding them. Daily moments of gratitude, reinforcing the protective energy in the home. Pay attention to subtle signs and changes in your environment, perceiving the guidance of the Virgin Mary. Strengthening family unity by sharing reflections and prayers to create a deep spiritual bond. These practices not only protect, but also prepare you to receive the special light that is approaching, increasing your heart's dependence on the messages we share and the desire to remain attentive to each video. Dear brother and sister, I want you to know something very important. You have come this far, and that makes you extraordinary. Not everyone has remained. Not everyone has listened to every sign, every word, and every guidance from the Virgin Mary as you have. Therefore, your heart and spirit are receiving this special light, and today I want to give you a powerful prayer that will protect all who have reached the end of this message, ensuring that they are safeguarded from all evil that may come. Virgin Mary, Mother of all, Today we ask you to envelop each person who has remained up to this moment with your divine light. Protect their homes, their families, and their hearts from all evil, danger, or negative influence. Fill their lives with peace, hope, and strength, and guide them in every step they take. May the faith they have cultivated on this path be an unbreakable shield, and may they always feel your love and protection. Amen. Dear brothers and sisters, while you feel this light and protection, I want you to know something exclusive. You are among the first to know that I am preparing a special digital book for all subscribers to this channel. This book will contain messages, teachings, and spiritual guides that will help you strengthen your faith, protect your family, and stay connected to the light of the Virgin Mary every day. You have demonstrated perseverance, attentiveness, and faith. This effort makes you special, and that is why the protection you receive today is stronger and more unique. Your heart is open, your spirit is prepared, and your home is surrounded by divine light. Feel how this energy warms you, strengthens you, and fills you with hope, because those who endure to the end receive not only protection, but also privileges that others do not yet know about. Comment Amen if you feel the light of the Virgin Mary in your heart and want to continue to be protected and guided. Share this message with those you love and stay tuned. More surprises and exclusive teachings are coming for you and all channel subscribers.